W.S Graham and St Ives, isolated together. The piece already exists. The place already exists. When I'm on the open road, a free spirit, I am on a journey of ascension. I feel lighter, I eat less, and I often levitate in my dreams. When I reach home, friendships fall apart, sever at the seams, zap energy, maps, flags, corpse tags, and anchors, the quintessential quest for the essential line. Sometimes a place just steals the right combination of poets and artists into its hive, natives with a sense of belonging, foreigners with their sense of exploration. Shavings, shredding, spherical. Erosion, eroticism, miracle. She bites her lower lip as I read out those words. Send the link, join the dots, follow the raindrops on the window. Who knows what we might choose to toss overboard instead of into shadow. Think less, live longer, sculpt, strip tease, deconstruct with therapy, dance, paint, pioneering new language, whatever it takes to glaze the creation with impermanence. Those days with an easel, nights with hallucinogens, a string of impossible lovers. Lightweights are always faster. Paper mache pulp, how do I emboss thee? And what is it that keeps the movement alive? Maybe the line took Cleve for a walk, the painter on his knees from the vertigo. See the perfect profiles and Gauloise pounce of French women, pebbles filed down to elemental forms, a Svengali of seductions, the epitome of everything modern. St Ives, then as famous as Paris, a post-war utopia where jazz drowned out the sound of the sea. Let's rebuild by tearing down some more, by awakening primitive forces, prehistoric standing stones, jigsawing portals, our faith in a brave new world. So many ideas come from and inside a response to form, said Barbara Hepworth. Then she fell asleep in her studio with her last cigarette still burning, bones ossified to stone by morning. Window views are claimed by the landscape. The stars spitting light, cliffs tainted with iron oxide. Everything you see here is deceptively simple. How to soften a hard-edged abstract, marry it to a love for the natural world. Where does the body fit without the figurative? Desire negated now, talk down from the ledge. For this kind of self-pleasure, give me your painter's hand, the vital relationship in art that saline drips the literature. On the other hand, I am an uncontaminated blue sky, open only to kites. A hubristic self-focus amplified by flight and my basic human instinct for belonging, trying to be better. The weightiness of try, and the airiness of be. At last, I am not alone in being as delirious as diamonds. Give me your painter's hand. It is the art of everything and nothing. Now that I have been shown how to love completely, the heart will naturally compass such allowance from now on. One cannot shout out to pain without shouting out pleasure. Exaltation and ruination, life's dear ongoing odyssey, the world's marbled complexities, burgundy ribbons, loose threads, that moment when traffic loses its panic and just stills. Maybe married life is high glamour, to boredom, to pleasure, to abandon, carbon to its core. Wrestle with your loneliness instead, your bravery. Don't be the glass bottles recycled at dawn in the distant suburbs, or join the languid sureness of couples who never miss a clue to secrets over tables, their entire face as receptive as a single eye. Dip closer, slip into this room. I have a giant seabird piñata for sale. Do you know about the hidden life of paper, its fragilities, a tendency to shrink like lust or expand like an accordion? Tear me down and build me back up, it cries. Its sense of absorbency craves it. Ceaseless seasons bribe me with the options. I was 12 years old when I started hand-picking papers for poetry, those spiral journals, until I grew terrified of the holes, open puncture wounds dripping down the page. I prefer the weighty papyrus, grain-flecked, gold-lined, and eager to be tongued by my tentative inks. Lying in bed, replaying the dream I had, sleeping so close to the sea, that particular night in France, listening to the paralyzing waves and their Newtonic whisper, reminded of how things always come, then go, the tug and the pull, the creep in, and then the chase back, pebbles stapled with jetsam, faces static now, the size of a palm. I was ready to know what hunger was like, to run on empty and only feast when the sunset says it's time. It was some marvel, dancing under those telegraphs of light. Was I insufferable? Well, the heart goes on as well as it can until it can't. Where does the line go after it has constructed the poem, left the page, a palmistry of chicaneries, lifeline, flat line, and inside it's inclined to leave? But my heart does not empty for you. Its slippery language continues. Isolated, together. In the words of Sidney himself, what do you offer me? A harmony of form, colour, sound, and movement to stimulate the imagination, all working something difficult but fruitful, St. Ives on its side with laughter. This is the secret, it gasps, to perpetually react. Whatever happened could not have happened otherwise. We spend half our lives in our dreams, so we want to know what goes on in there. The haunting and the haunted, hauling the herring from the harbour, the liquids, the metals. Let's write and reflect to each other, learn the same landscape, perfect our craft, commit ourselves completely to extending limits. Better, better, be, like Peter Lanyon, his shaky aviators gliding over fields of foxgloves and Celtic sea, flying without cord or shadow or parachute, but wanting to know the perspective so he could paint it true. And even as he crashed with one last telescopic bird's-eye view, after years of circling the skies, rider of the wind full sail, that fatal nosedive into the dirt as it rippled under him like sand dunes, kite tails pinned to a bed of soon galvanized coffin nails, like an eagle riding the thermals, trying to lasso the moon.